Well, that's it. 2025 is in the rearview mirror. Kick it to the curb. Goodbye. It's out of here. Oncoming 2026. Here we go. But before we get to 2026, first, we got a top 10 list to do. Of course, it's the end of the year, and everybody is itching to know what the top 10 figures of 2025 were. It might not be figures that all came out in 2025. Some of them might have come out in 2024. Maybe even a 2023 one in there or something. But I picked it up this year because, unfortunately, I live in Canada. Living in Canada is great. Don't get me wrong. I have a great time living up here in Canada. But unfortunately, what comes with the territory is we don't always get figures in a timely fashion. Sometimes a figure that might come out in 2024 gets pushed back to 2025 for us up here in the Great White North, which might be the case for a couple of my figures here. But I don't want to complain about that. I still have a good time collecting and finding and looking all over the place, trying to search for these key figures that I've been looking for so long. A lot of these figures I've wanted for years, literally for years. I've been looking forward to getting these figures and having them in hand. I'm pretty impressed. I'm pretty impressed with some of them. Some of them maybe weren't the greatest, but the ones that are on this list, all the ones on this list, I'm very happy with. So I won't have too much complaints to say about them. We're going to start it out with number 10, obviously. You start top to bottom, right? That's how everybody does. You don't go 1 to 3 to 8 to 6. You got to go top to bottom. And starting us off, we're going to go with this guy right here. I knew nothing about him until I saw this figure. It is the Wolverine. So, what's more badass than having Wolverine, who has claws coming out of his fists, mixed with the Ghost Rider, a flaming skull dude. Ho ho ho! I saw this, I was like, damn, this guy looks badass. If they would have given like a motorcycle, he would have been a little bit higher on my list, I think. But he looks cool. He's got the wicked flames coming off the head, flames on his actual blades. It was an awesome concept. And yes, there's obviously some reuse out of this guy. They probably didn't have to do any new sculpting of the body and the legs and arms, stuff like that. Basically, just the flames on the claws and his head. That's all they pretty much had to do. But you know what? I was there for it. This guy, he looks cool, and I'm happy that I got him. And now in the number 9 spot, we're gonna go to Goosebumps from Trick or Treat Studios. When they were making these figures, I'm such a huge fan of Goosebumps. Growing up, I read so many of these books, and when I saw that they were making some figures that are based on the actual, like the book covers, I was like, I gotta get some of these. And then I saw all of them, I was like, yeah, I'm getting the whole lot. I'm getting all 5 of them. And then they came with this guy. They came with Curly, the promotional dude for Goosebumps back in the day. And he's probably my favorite figure of the group, so I'm glad that I got all of them so I could get Curly to go with them. But they're all really cool. There's nothing too crazy about them. Like the articulation is at max 5 points of articulation. Some of them are like 2 or 3 points of articulation. They're not great in that sense, but for what they represent, like the nostalgia that comes with them, that comes with the Goosebumps, that's what I was there for, and I'm glad I got them. Now moving down to the number 8 spot, we got ourselves Shredder as Dracula. If you've been watching my channel for a little while, I've been collecting all of these TMNT cross with the Universal Monsters, and when I knew they were making the Shredder, this was the exact perfect pairing that they had to do. Is Dracula as Shredder, or Shredder as Dracula, and they did such a phenomenal job. They gave you like 3 different heads that you can use. His armor coupled with the Dracula look is just perfect. Giving him this cape, the soft goods cape, everything about it was just fantastic. And apparently there's supposed to be a couple more figures coming out in this line. I can't wait to get those as well too, if they do ever make them, because sometimes, they say things and then they don't quite come out. They just stay on the drawing board. But I'm hoping we do get that 2-headed Donatello and Michelangelo. That one looks pretty cool. And that Krang, that really colorful Krang with the Metaluna mutant looking thing, looks awesome. But yeah, this Shredder as Dracula did an awesome job, NECA. And keeping things with NECA, down to number 7, we are looking at Jaws the Game, or the Game of Jaws. This is from NECA, and it's basically their modern take on the classic game that came out back in the day of Jaws, where you would put a whole bunch of things inside of his mouth, and you gotta try and get him out with a little hook thing. Let's see what thing we get in here. Let's pull it out. What do we got? Oh, we got ourselves a bone. Looks like a leg bone, a femur of some sort. So we got a whole bunch of stuff in there. You pull it out. You try not to clamp it down on your hand and get hurt. It's just a cool idea. The fact that it's a figure and it's a game at the same time, really awesome. And like the level of detail is phenomenal. Like he looks like Bruce does from the movie. He's got the jowls right there to give him that Bruce look. Not just a straight great white shark. It looks like the Jaws shark. And, you know, if he would have had like some other articulation, he probably would have been a little bit higher on my list. But he's a little bit, you know, he's static. He's stiff. He doesn't really do much other than open and close his jaw. But I'm not going to fault it for that. It is still a really awesome figure. Love Jaws, and I love this guy. Here we are at the number 6 spot, and we're going back to Hasbro's Marvel Legends. We're talking about Chameleon. This is from the animated series, the Spider-Man animated series, I should say. And this is one of the characters, I don't know why it took him so long to make this guy. It seemed like he'd be an obvious one. They made multiple Green Goblins. They made how many Spider-Mans out there? They have a couple of Carnages, they have a couple of Venoms, but they hadn't made a Chameleon for the longest time, and they finally did. And they did him justice. They did a really good job. I think that the face looks exactly like you want Chameleon to look. His outfit is what he wears, and it's cool. They give him a weapon. They give him a J. Jonah Jameson mask to hold on to as well too. They did a really good job with this guy. I can't say he does anything amazingly phenomenal, but he matches exactly what you would want your Chameleon to look like from the animated series, and I was really happy to get him finally. Hey, we've made it to the halfway mark, and if you guys wouldn't mind, while we are here, if you wouldn't mind, hit that like, hit that subscribe, leave some comments down below, hit the bell on the side as well too. I am CountryBoy_9, also known as CountryBoyNiner. A whole bunch of different places. You can check me out like right here on YouTube, what you're watching. You can also check me out on TikTok, on Letterboxd, on Twitch, on Twitter, and Instagram. All those different places. Find me at one of those different channels. You'll find me somewhere, and you'll find something that I swear you're gonna like. But I'm also on a couple of other channels with my friends. One's called Wasted Opinions. We talk about video games, movies, TV shows, comic books, wrestling, food. You never know what we're going to talk about next. We have a blast on that channel. And another channel with another one of my friends called Mallard Matinee. We do movie reviews. We have a blast talking about movies. Movies we like, movies we do not like, movies that are new, movies that are old, movies we haven't seen, movies we've seen multiple times. You never know what we're going to talk about next. We have so much fun. But without further ado, let's get back to my list, starting with number 5. And sitting at that number 5 spot, we do have a guy that I am very familiar with, but I'm not very familiar with the Mezco version of him until I got this guy. And I was more impressed with this guy than I thought I was going to be. There's things that I think could have been better. Like the Mezco head thing is always a thing. You know, they got like almost like the oversized head, slightly oversized heads, and it's the same situation here. But I've never had like a soft goods Spider-Man, and getting this guy, I love the posability of this guy. He's got so much good positions that I could put him into, and he's got so many different accessories that he comes with. Like, I mean, like, look at this stand. This is like the best stand that I own, and it came with this Spider-Man figure. Rightfully so. He's not a cheap figure, but he did an awesome job of incorporating all the things that I would want with the Spider-Man. Maybe he could have, I don't know, maybe like his toes could have some articulation or something on there. That's a minor detail. And, you know, like I said, his head could maybe be a little bit tiny smaller. Then he would have been maybe a little bit higher on my list. But as of right now, he's number 5. He might not have come out this year. I don't even know if he came out last year. He might have come out the year before that. But I got him this year, and I'm glad that I did. And now we're down to number 4. This is a bunch of figures. It's not just one figure. It's a whole grouping of them. You had to get them all, because why wouldn't you? It's going to be NECA once again, and we're talking about the Stump Wrestling Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Intergalactic Wrestling Turtles. I loved all of these figures because they represent the Archie Comics versions of these characters when they were in the Intergalactic Wrestling. I loved that comic book as a kid, and when I knew that they were making turtles that were from the Archie Comics, I was like, they gotta make these. They had to make these. So when they announced they were making these were like the most hotly anticipated figures for me for the last couple of years, ever since they were announced. And I think they came out in 2024 technically, but again, I didn't get them until this year, 2025, and I'm so glad that I did. These guys stand up. They'd be a little bit higher on my list if they had alternate heads. They've all only got just one sort of head, so if there's a facial expression that you don't really care for, like Donatello's, sorry Donatello, but your facial expression, I kind of wish it was a little bit better than what it is. So if it had different heads, this would have been probably number 1 on my list. Maybe number 1 or 2, we'll see. But yeah, it would have been higher on my list. But number 4 is still a pretty good spot. 4 turtles, number 4 makes sense. This is it. We're down to number 3, guys. There's only 3 figures to go. Who could it be other than Sun Wukong, the Monkey King? This is from the Figure Obscura line by the Four Horsemen. And I know he came out last year. This is technically the retailer exclusive, so he's got the gold fur going all around him, and he is amazing. The level of detail that the Four Horsemen put into all of these figures is amazing. Like, It's got a whole bunch of different faceplates. I think there was 6 or was it 8 faceplates? There was a whole bunch of different faceplates on this guy. Whole bunch of different accessories. Got cloth goods all going around here. This guy is so cool, and it helps that I played Black Myth Wukong this recent year. I loved that game. That game was phenomenal. So to get kind of a representation of that character in this form, just great. I am so happy with what they did with this guy. I am very picky with what I'm getting from the Figura Obscura line. I got the Headless Horseman. I got, he was awesome. I got this guy. I'm not getting everything because they're not cheap, but they are amazing. The figures that you get from the Four Horsemen, they're like second to none. These guys do an awesome job, and this Sun Wukong is no slouch. Okay, we are down to number 2. Whoa, boy, do we got a big, chunky, hefty boy for you too. And keeping it in the simian family, we got ourselves this guy. It is Gorilla from Super 7. And say what you want about Super 7, I know they haven't had the best track record in the last few years, especially this year. They've fallen on some hard times. But I will say, this guy is big. He's beefy. He comes with a bunch of stuff, and he articulates maybe a little bit better than you might expect from a Super 7 beefy guy. And oh my god, this guy's heavy as heck too, and he just looks cool. I know he's basically just a character that was like a one-off from the Archie comics, but I'm so glad they made this guy. And people are complaining they didn't make the Sergeant Bananas. You know what? He can come some other time, or never. I don't really need him. I got this guy, Gorilla. They nailed it with this guy. I can't really say any bad things about this thing. Maybe the paintwork could use a little bit of extra detail in there, but other than that, like it's just phenomenal. The sculpt, the accessories, everything that he comes with, how he looks. I love this guy so much. Well, we make that number 1 spot, and we're keeping things in the TMNT zone. We're keeping things in that realm. It might not be a Super 7 figure, but we're talking about Ray Fillet from Mondo. And if you know me, I love me some Ray Fillet. He's always got a soft spot in my heart. I think I gave him the figure of the year a couple of years ago from NECA, and so now I'm giving it to the Mondo version. This guy is just awesome. It is a soft vinyl figure. It is more of an art piece than anything. It's very limited articulation. And he comes with this guy right here, fish sticks. He's got TNT strapped to his body. Looks awesome. He's also got Scarfish right here with an ass that won't quit. Look at that guy's butt. But this guy is the one that you pay money for. He's the one that you are excited to have. He's got so much detail. Like I said, he's like an art piece, basically. There's a lot going on here. He's very plasticky because it's soft vinyl. So he is like a solid kind of a plastic. He's got some weight to him as well too. But he looks very similar to like the old school toy, like the Playmates toy. And he evokes that kind of articulation as well too. Like the legs, very limited in the articulation there. The tail, not at all. Arms go up and down, very limited. And the head swivels. So yeah, there you go. It's very limited in the articulation, but you don't buy it for the articulation. You buy it for the aesthetic. You buy it for the looks. You buy it because you just love this character and you want to see what Mondo did to make him stand out, and he does stand out. Like I got a bunch of Ray Fillets, but this might be my favorite one. I mean, it's my biggest one, obviously, because it is from Mondo, and they make them bigger. This guy just stands out, and he looks fantastic. Fantastic, if you will. What? We're doing puns now. Sorry for the dad jokes, everybody. Fantastic Ray Fillet. Terrible. So that is going to do it for this list. It is number 1 on my list, in my heart, from 2025, Ray Fillet. And as much as I love this Ray Fillet, I am not going to be all in on all of the Ninja Turtle stuff that Mondo's doing. Not cheap. You know, they do a really good job. I do like the soft vinyl things that they're doing. So I splurged and I got one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figure from Mondo. Maybe down the line, if prices drop or something, or if I happen to win the lottery, maybe I'll pick up a few more Ninja Turtle figures. But for the time being, I am super happy with this guy. Like I said, this is my boy. This is the one that I gotta have no matter what. So that is gonna do it for my list of the 2025 figures. What did you think? What is your favorite figure of 2025? I want to know. Put down in the comments down below. I am very curious. But that's gonna do it for me. I am Country Boy, and I put the sass in Sarsaparilla. But as always, be sure to let me know what you think. list. If you did, then you know what? Maybe you want to check out some of those figures that I mentioned, because I did unbox every one of them on my channel. Check some of those out. There's some really awesome figures in there. Some really good videos that I made as well too. I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy them. But if you don't want to see those figures, I got a bunch of other figures on my channel as well too. Some of them are even better than the ones that I feature here. You just never know what might tickle your fancy.